Tuesday night baseball is upon us. Our nightcap here at J.J. Isaacson Field. The Royal Blue Dogs taking on the Bombers, the 8-10 Blue Dogs, and the 10-8 Bombers. Our 8 p.m. matchup here at Seymour Smith Park. We're still sticking around here on the Corn Belt League YouTube channel. You just saw a 7-1 win for the Rail Riders over the Crop Dusters, a much-needed win for them. I'm Jaden Taylor. Alongside me is Mike Knockenhauer, and a beautiful night for baseball.
It sure is. Both these teams trying to work their way back into they're kind of in the middle of the pack right now. They're trying to work their way up, try to get into those higher spots to kind of make a push towards the higher seeds as we near the playoffs.
So let's take a quick look at yesterday's games before we get into this one. A quick turnaround between our first two games. Looking at yesterday's game, the Rail Riders, after being up 7-0 after the top of the first, lose the Black Sox 14-7. 2 wins over the Filthballers, over the Red Raiders in their doubleheader here at Seymour Smith Park. The Royal Blue Dogs get a much-needed win. They move back up to 8-10. They have a 4-game winning streak currently so far after beating down the Haymakers 3-2. Let's look at today's games we just saw before this. We mentioned the 7-1 win for the Rail Riders over the Crop Dusters, just our second game of the day here at Seymour Smith Park here in the Corn Belt League. The Royal Blue Dogs about to take on the Bombers, and look at an updated standings so far. Filthballers still comfortably at the top of the standings for the second year in a row after taking home the title last year with a 23-9 record. They stand alone at the top, 17-4, 10-8, the 3 spot between the Haymakers and Bombers. Royal Blue Dogs and Rail Riders the same thing at 8-10. Crop Dusters 6-14. They dropped down after their loss here today, and then still rounding out the standings here, the 3-15 Red Raiders. Let's take a quick look at our impact player here for the Royal Blue Dogs, a guy who maybe not always the main guy that we've seen for the Royal Blue Dogs this season. The biggest guy we've seen is Eli McDonald, but today we're going to look at Brendan Anderson, who has had a pretty good tear these last couple of weeks. Is 12 for 42 on the season with 4 RBIs, hitting 286 at a Mount Mercy University. And Redding is working kind of both the multiple infield spots here for the defense so far this season. Has worked both second, short, and third. We're going to see him today here at the shortstop position. Let's look before we get into this one. The starting lineup here today for the Royal Blue Dogs. They'll start it off with their left fielder, Trent Coughlin. Batting second, designated hitter, Nick Carlson. Batting third, Eli McDonald, the third baseman. Batting fourth, catcher Ryan Eastham, the extra hitter. Batting fifth, Braden Bach. Batting sixth, second baseman, Robu Ikarashi. Batting seventh, the right fielder, Luke Killinger. In center, batting eighth, Devin Jones. Playing short, batting ninth, is Brandon Redding. Then rounding out the order is J.J. Schubert. You are seeing here Levi Story starting on the mound here for the Bombers. It's the first start for him this season. Does have 6 appearances so far, 0 for 1 on the year. And his 11 innings of work has really struggled. 16 runs, 14 of them being earned. Allowed 10 hits, does have 15 strikeouts, but on the flip side, 17 walks. So the command has been the struggle for him this season.
Sure has. He throws a 2-seam, a slider, and a changeup. He says that he throws about his 2-seam and his slider about the same amount as 40%, and then about 20% on his changeup. So if he can mix those 3 pitches up pretty well, I think he can really keep his control throughout this game and just
find a way back towards it. Again,
exactly.
The ability for this Bombers pitching staff to find the zone has been the biggest struggle this season. 77 total walks as a team, 35 hit by pitches. So they've been somewhat struggling to be able to find the zone too much. A league worst 5.06 ERA. This one chopped over to first. Nico Saul will flip over to Levi Story. He gets there just barely in time to retire Trent Coughlin. A 3-1 put out. We'll start off the day. That'll bring up Nick Carlson, the designated hitter. He's usually been the main catcher this season for the Royal Blue Dogs. Carlson 16 for 39 on the season, a team best 410 batting average, and that's kind of why he's been slated at one of the top spots in this order. First pitch to him is a ball.
So if the Blue Dogs want to keep this winning streak going, they're going to have Carlson be as efficient as he has been if they want to keep this thing going and hopefully keep their winning streak alive.
The momentum for them has been really picking up lately after starting off 4-10. They've won 4 straight here in this past week and trying to find their 5th up against the Bombers. And again, the hitting has been there for the Bombers, one of the top hitting teams in the Corn Belt League this season. However, the pitching has been the issue, the depth of pitching more so. Zane Layden, Adam Egger at the top of this arsenal have been solid, but outside of that, there's been a lot of question marks for Coach Austin Alexander. Carlson now finds himself ahead 3-1. So far this season, 7 walks compared to just 2 strikeouts. So he's been a disciplined hitter at the top of the order as well. 3-1 pitch. This one grounded over to short. Caleb Lemon bobbles it. It's off his glove. And an uncharacteristic error for Caleb Lemon, who has been one of the best defensive pieces for the Bombers this season. And a runner on here with 1 out.
Like I've said, if you put the ball in play, that makes it hard. That makes the defense, it forces the defense to make the plays, which often leads to mistakes. So if you can put the pressure on early, that can force the Bombers to make errors, and it can help you gain momentum early in this one.
This is Eli McDonald out of the 3 spot. He's been one of the best hitters, not just in the Royal Blue Dogs this season, but in the entire league. A team best 18 RBI, has come around 10 times as well. Does have 3 doubles. A 349 average is 3rd on the team amongst qualified hitters, but it's not just been the average, it's been the slugging percentage this year, 419, which is the best on this team this season. Again, he's been really slated, just really always penciled in that 4 spot, 3 or 4 spot for the Royal Blue Dogs this season. That one in the dirt gets away from Gage Julin, and Nick Carlson will move up 90 feet closer. He's in scoring position now at second.
I like that quick decision by Nick Carlson to just move up 90 feet quickly. I mean, obviously that's always a split decision whenever there's a pass ball like that, but
especially with that one just right underneath Julin, it can be a hard one to fully read. The dirt ball reads.
But
a big thing guys work on in the offseason as well as at practice. 1-1 pitch, that one inside to McDonald.
With that one, now it puts him in scoring position early with only 1 out. So a ball hit decently well to the outfield could put the Blue Dogs up early.
Outfield playing pretty stand up to McDonald, so any ground ball that squeaks through very likely could score Carlson. 2-1 pitch is outside, and again Story, who's struggled so much with command this season, falls behind here 3-1. Story this season, in his appearances, just a 47% strike percentage. And it gives up another one right there. 2 runners on here. It's a 3-1 pitch, and just an intentional walk right afterwards, but they want to have nothing with McDonald. That'll bring up the catcher, Ryan Eastham.
Yeah, when you're at the meat of a lineup and your pitcher's not having the best of, not have exactly his best stuff, you might want to cut him a little bit of slack and get the harder ones out of the way. That also puts that's possibly why they did it, is because it puts the double play into effect, which could end the inning.
Force at first, second, and third, so a play for anybody to make out there on the defensive side. Checking back a little bit at Carlson. 1-0 pitch is upstairs for a ball. Again, the struggle just being able to find the zone have been the biggest thing for him. However, with just a 473 strike percentage, does also just have a 435 first pitch strike percentage, so has fallen behind early and has consistently just not been able to crawl back. Down here 2-0, chance for the Royal Blue Dogs to start off early. No green light there for Eastham.
Something you said was obviously a 435 first strike percentage. That's something that can always hurt a pitcher's confidence, is falling behind early, which can really mess with your mind, and you always can fall behind even more and just get on top of get on yourself early, which can also hurt your confidence.
That one shot foul. There's now already a righty in the bullpen for the Bombers. That's Nate Smith. Smith, another guy that's really been between him and Story to try to fill out the 3 spot. But both of them have struggled to kind of take over that role. We'll see, again, if Coach Austin Alexander is maybe working a bullpen type of day or how long they want to go with Story. Trying to get the second out here. Nick Carlson with a big lead out there at second. The Bombers won the first. And Story was just not doing well to find the runner, and Carlson out there at second. Didn't hold him on very well, and one got away from Julin. And no chance even at a throw. Now 2 runners here in scoring position. The double play is out of order. The right side of the infield is in. However, the left side of the infield is still back deep. So maybe a concerned look here. Now the left side of the defense gets the memo. They're back in. Full count pitch coming here to Eastham. That one outside for ball 4. And the bases are loaded here early. And Austin Alexander is going to come out and talk to his starting pitcher.
Yeah, it just seems like he's having trouble with placing his pitches here early, which can always get in your head and hurt your confidence going down the road, which once you get into a situation like this, you can have a base runner on, your mindset completely shifts and can really mess with.
Pete Smith up in the bullpen. 19 pitches so far for Levi Story. Just has 9 strikes in those 19 pitches. And Alexander trying to calm his starter down a little bit, is in somewhat of a jam here.
Now batting, the extra hitter, Northern Oklahoma Eaton, number 27, Braden Bogg.
This is Brayton Bach, the extra hitter. Has been also a piece to this Royal Blue Dogs pitching staff as he grounds this one foul in the third base line. Bach this season, the team's second best, average of .355 this season. Just has 1 RBI, but 11 for 13 with 8 singles, 2 doubles, and a triple. An extra base hit here could help out the Royal Blue Dogs continue their momentum out the 4-game winning streak.
You know, Story up 0-2, which can really be a good thing for him because now you have 1 or even 2 pitches that you can just kind of throw away and try to get him to chase.
0-2 pitch,
like
try to
that.
get him to chase there, like you mentioned. Couldn't get Bach to go out of the zone. The count to 1-2. Bach, a Elkhorn High grad, has been alongside Anthony Comfort for the Crop Dusters, one of the best two-sided guys, both pitching as well as hitting. And looks at a
great
ball
stop
way
there.
outside the zone. But, yeah, like you mentioned.
Great stop there by Julin.
Great stop by Julin right there to keep it in front of him. Just had to kind of dive out in front of him to get the glove and tapped it right out in front of him. Two-two pitch coming here from Story. Off speed upstairs, moves the count full. Robu Ikarashi is on deck. Ryan Eastham is at first. Eli McDonald at second. Nick Carlson is at third.
I will say, whenever you're at an 0-2 count, your stress level builds with every single ball you throw.
Full count pitch. Got him chasing a little bit. Chopped over to third. Steps on third. Throw over to first. It's in time. A 5-3 double play, and Levi Story gets out of it. Kyle Weber to Nico Saul. And, man, right after we thought the Royal Blue Dogs had an opportunity to start off with an incredible start with just 1 out and bases loaded, they strand all 3 right at the bottom of the first. Bombers maybe trying to find some offense of their own. Bombers looking to find some runs here in the bottom of the first. Levi Story able to strand the bases loaded after getting a ground ball double play from Ryan Easton. Let's look at the lineup here. For the Bombers, they'll start it off with the speedy man, the center fielder, Danny Spongberg. Next up, the designated hitter, Joey Burrill. First baseman batting third, Nico Soller, impact player. Left fielder, James Grease is batting fourth. Batting fifth, Kyle Weber, the third baseman. Batting sixth, the shortstop we saw boot one early in the top of the first, Caleb Lemon. Batting seventh, another really incredible defensive player, Tanner Black in right. Batting eighth, Gage Julian behind the dish. Batting ninth, Brennan Cassio playing second. And rounding out the order, the extra hitter, Philip Jordan. This is Tommy Rosario, the lefty, starting on the mound here today for the Royal Blue Dogs. Rosario this season 1-0, a 5.48 ERA. This is his sixth start on the year. 15 in the third innings pitched coming into this one. He's from upstate New York, comes out of Bridgeport University. And just like Story, he's another guy that struggles to find the zone. 15 strikeouts compared to 27 walks. So I think both for Coach Guido as well as Coach Alexander, this is a night for their starting pitchers to maybe find some momentum and be a little bit more comfortable up there on the mound to find the zone.
And along with, you said that he's like Story where he's had trouble with his control. He also has the same pitch arsenal as Story. He throws his two-seam and his slider along with a changeup, and he said that he throws his two-seam and slider more often than his changeup, which is pretty on par with Levi Story as well.
Yeah, same kind of looks and same start as Danny Spongberg will walk, and that's not a guy you want to have touch first base. It's not Spongberg's power, nor is it, somewhat his offensive ability, but the biggest thing for him that makes him so dangerous is his ability to steal bases. 12 stolen bases this season. Has just been caught stealing once. They'll throw back to him. And again, that might have been the look a little bit for Coach Spethia with the lefty and Rosario. They looking to make it a little bit harder for Spongberg and some of the really fast guys at the top of this order for the Bombers to maybe stay at bay. Another look over there at first.
And they're really making sure he's not comfortable over there at first base with his lead.
Again, Ryan Eastham is behind home plate, so he would have to be the one, along with Rosario, to make sure that Spongberg doesn't think about moving up 90 feet further. This is Joey Burrill. Burrill, the designated hitter today, batting 300 on the year. Hasn't had a ton of at-bats this year comparatively, but is working pretty well these last couple of weeks. Has 8 singles and a double, 3 RBI, has come around to score 6 times. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss right there. Brill from Peru State Beaver has kind of traveled all over the country to come here. Again, a lot of guys in the Corn Belt League from many different places around the country all coming here to play some summer ball. Brill strikes out on the fastball, got him to chase there, and one gone here in the bottom of the first. That'll bring up our impact player, Nico Saul. Saul has been on a tear as of recent, has a league best 35 quality at-bats. He has jumped up from the 5 or 6 spot all the way up to the number 1 spot with 35 and just 3 extra base hits, a 300 average, and he's been one of the best hitters for this Bombers team. That one gets away from Easton behind home plate. Spongberg, with his speed, easily gets on to second. Now runner in scoring position here for Saul.
I was about to say, with Rosario, those early strikeouts as a pitcher can always help you, but after that, something like a wild pitch like that can always hurt that as well. Especially when you have to keep your composure, especially with someone like Nico Saul up.
And Saul and Grease have been the top hitters these last couple weeks for the Bombers. Gage Julian was, after being the week 2 hitter of the week, or one of the nominees for hitter of the week, Julian kind of slowed down a little bit here to start off the second half. Saul, big hack there on 2-1, but maybe guessing as the fastball came through, a little bit behind that one from Rosario.
It's always a sigh of relief whenever you throw a pitch like that and you see a batter wind up and really give it a big swing, and whenever they whiff it, it's always a great
Runners
feeling.
off from second. Danny Spongberg slides in. They're going to call him safe at third. Close play, a strong throw from Eastham. But over there at third, Eli McDonald just not able to get the tag in time. Now a runner just 90 feet away from being the first run of the ball game for the Bombers. Well, Rosario 2 pitches earlier. Finds himself back even.
There's something else that always is a sigh of relief. Whenever there's a big hitter like this, if they ever turn on one like that, you're always praying in your mind that it goes foul.
2-2 pitch, catches the outer half. Nico Saul didn't like it. Well, it's the second strikeout of the day, back-to-back here for Tommy Rosario. And now an opportunity for Rosario to be able to get out of the runner on third jam.
That's such a big out here in the bottom of the first. That turns this into any ground out to first could end it without any runs coming across.
James Grease looks at a ball low. Grease this season, again, another guy who's just been dominant for this group. 11th for 34 on the year, 5 singles. But the astonishing thing for him has been the power ability from him. 3 doubles and 3 triples. Has 9 RBI on the year. Has come around to score 10 times as well. 1-1 pitch. That one upstairs and a ball.
Definitely not a guy you want on base, especially in a situation like this where anything that's a force out ends up getting you out of the jam early.
2-1 pitch from Rosario. Another fastball upstairs, and he falls behind now 3-1. I think going up against, the meat of this order, right, you got to think you do have a base open if you're Rosario, especially down 3-1. Don't want to give too much over the plate to Grease. They would rather deal with Kyle Weber, who's on deck. 3-1 pitch. Got him swinging there. Even chased at that ball, and for a 3-1 pitch, definitely not the best approach right there from Grease.
You can always resort to stuff like that where it can either end up getting you out of this batter where you can just go to face the next guy, or they can end up chasing.
3-2 pitch is low for ball 4.
Kind of like that one, except ends up not chasing and taking the walk.
Yeah, trying to get him to chase on back-to-back pitches, not giving Grease too much was Rosario. And now we'll see the third baseman, number 3, Kyle Weber. Weber this season, another strong guy in the middle of the lineup, hitting .293 and OPS of 809. Does have a home run this season, 8 RBI, looking for possibly his 9th. An attempt to give the Bombers the lead here early. Runners on the corners. Danny Spongberg after walking to start off the inning at third. And James Grease, who just walked 3 guys later, is on first. That one gets away from Eastham. Spongberg skidded a little bit, going to hunt to home, and he's in there safely.
That one just gets away from Eastham.
Yeah, Spongberg talking a little bit to his head coach. There was a little bit of caution right there. Took a little 2-step and held for a second. Didn't know how far it went away from Eastham, but the speed prevailed. And he was able to get home safely, and the Bombers have struck first. It's 1-0.
I don't know how
still have a runner in scoring position.
I don't know how many guys in the league can really hesitate that much and still make it into home fairly easy. It didn't even seem like he was running at least full speed, as he barely made it in there, but I felt like he still made it in there fairly easy, even though he did, as you say, 2-step.
Runners off from second. Strong throw from Eastham, but it's offline.
Jaden, just like that, a ball, another passed ball or any ball that's in play makes this a 2-run game early, which can really make things interesting down the stretch.
That's Grease's 8th stolen base of the season. It's been Spongberg and Grease at the top 4 spots in the order who have just taken so many bases. Nico Saul, also a speed threat, with 7 this year.
Ooh.
That pitch is upstairs for a ball, and again, Still haven't seen a hit so far from the Bombers, as they haven't been able to take the bat off their shoulder. 3 walks and 2 strikeouts to the first 5 batters of this one.
That's
and
already
Rosario going to have to figure a way to get out of it.
That's already 26 pitches from Rosario, as it just seems like he has had trouble with controlling where he places his pitches.
First pitch is in there for a strike to Caleb Lemon. Lemon this season batting .372 with a .905 OPS. Not only has he been one of the best defensive guys on this team, he has really helped out of the 5 and 6 spots this season. He's really bounced around the order a lot, but has still been able to produce. Tied for a team best 9 RBI this season and a team second best 11 runs. And a little belly dive over into second was Kyle Weber, as he had an easy stolen base. Eastham didn't even think about it. Lemon lifts this one foul off of the 2-1. Maybe the count back up at 2 apiece. And again, Rosario now a chance to finally get out of this inning. It's been a long one. I mentioned here, this is going to be Rosario's 31st pitch of this first inning.
Feels like there hasn't been much contact here so far. Seems like that's one of the first balls that the Bombers have actually put a bat on thus far, and they're winning the game.
Yeah, it seems like thus far they haven't had to use the bat too much, as Rosario has struggled to find the zone. Full count pitch here, 2 runs in scoring position to Caleb Lemon. This one's driven to right center field. Long run for the center fielder in Jones, but he'll be able to make the play, and that'll end off the first here. The Bombers do score first. 3 walks brings home a run, and we'll head to the second. The Bombers lead this one 1-0. Robu Ikarashi will start this top of the second off here for the Royal Blue Dogs. Ikarashi, the second baseman here today, working up against Levi Story. First pitch is a ball low from Story. And a long first inning for both of these starting pitchers here, as they've struggled to find the zone. Intentional walk, a walk and an error on the first inning for the Bombers defense, but they were able to get out of it with the unorthodox double. On the other end, 3 different walks and a wild pitch brought in a run. Spongberg, the speed's been showing for him all season long. He came around to score. It's the first run of the day for either team.
So yeah, even though neither of these first innings went necessarily exactly how these pitchers wanted, especially from Rosario. Rosario. Especially from Rosario. They both need to just keep their composure and know that this game is still very early, especially in this situation. Since you're down early, you just gotta, like Rosario, he's down early, but my thing is always you gotta remember that your offense always has your back no matter what. You gotta trust your offense, trust the people behind you in your defense, and like put a ball that's hittable but playable.
First strikeout of the day right there from Levi's Story. He takes down Robu Ikarashi. This is Luke Killinger. He fouls this one off and out of play. Killinger, as you hear the footsteps of a couple kids running after that foul ball. Hitting .333 this season, 7 for 21. Just one extra base hit. That was a double. Grounds this one over to second. Brennan Cassio picks it up and throws it on the first. And a quick 2 outs here for Levi Story, so a bounce back inning for him as he's going to work on Devin Jones now.
I've always loved how many smiles I see in this league. It always just makes me happy to see these guys being out here playing the game that they love and being able to express themselves on the ball field.
Yeah, definitely an open mindset for a lot of guys playing summer ball. As Devin Jones now, who just ended off his season at Miller West, is working here as a center fielder here tonight for the Royal Blue Dogs. Jones this season hitting .233, but has worked kind of out of a big slump. Started off this season in a big hole, but has worked himself kind of back to a moderate state as he is hit right there. Story, that one got way away from him. A deep breath right there from Jones. He heads on to first.
Devin Jones, part of that, obviously that Millard West state championship that we just saw a couple months ago with that crazy off. So he's been through a lot. Going to be going to Creighton in the fall.
Yeah, another one almost hits Brennan Redding. Story just not been able to find his own, so got 2 quick outs here. Does have a speedy runner in Jones over there. A beautiful seed from Gage Julin. Guns down Devin Jones. And Levi Story able to bounce back in the second. And we'll head to the bottom of the second here. The Bombers trying to add on to their 1-0 lead. Bottom of the second here in our nightcap on Tuesday Night Baseball. Jaden Taylor alongside Mike Knockenhauer, the Royal Blue Dogs, trying to work their way back to 500. A 4-game winning streak coming into this one. Work on the 10-8 Bombers. They
Oh,
down 10-8. Oh, my goodness, is right. That one was just a bit outside from Tommy Rosario. 4-1. He's struggled to be able to find the zone. And the first inning, 3 different walks. Did have 2 strikeouts, so flipped around the other way, did pretty well. But that's kind of been the struggle for him all season, just being able to find the zone. Just trying to help out this Royal Blue Dogs pitching staff that is still down 1 guy. This one grounded over to third. Eli McDonald in the dirt, but a beautiful pick right there by J.J. Schubert for the first out of the inning.
It's always so satisfying to see a great pick by the first baseman, always bailing out their guys from not necessarily bad throws, but just like throws that are a little off target, but always knowing that your first baseman will do his best to help you out whenever you don't make the perfect throw.
That Tanner Black ground out will bring up the catcher, Gage Julin. Julin, this is his first AB of the day as we're getting near the bottom of the order here. 8, 9, and 10 next due up. Rosario
That's a great pitch right there.
There you go. Beautiful pitch. Just catches the outer half for strike 1. And maybe Rosario now able to find his stuff a little bit more.
There's always those pitches like that that can help you get back into a count and help you with your control going forward.
Julin this season hitting .205 after really big first 2 weeks. Has struggled since then. And now finds himself ahead 3-1. The long and lengthy Rosario kind of just whips the ball around as more of his motion. He's been missing a lot here today, and he misses there. 5-pitch walk to Julin, and that's already in just an inning and a third, his 4th walk of the day. And he's trying to be able to find the zone. 39 pitches now, with just 16 strikes.
Those pitches that are always borderline are always tough because you're usually trying to get a swing out of a guy, and those not catching the zone. It's always frustrating as a pitcher, but you always got to keep your composure and just get on to the next batter.
Braden Olson will be running for Gage Julin here today. He's going to be off on the pitch in the dirt. Ryan Easton able to keep it in front of him, but skipped too far away for him to be able to make a throw. And now a runner already here in scoring position with just 1 gone. And the struggles have just continued here for the depth of this pitching staff. We've seen, especially this last game, Trayton Colzel for the Crop Dusters came in through 3 walks, allowed 3 runs, and didn't even get an out. So the depth of pitching can sometimes be an issue here in this league that we've seen, especially here recently. Rosario trying to battle back like he did this past inning to at least consisted of just 1 run allowed. That was the big thing for Levi Story, too, after the first inning. Had bases loaded, nobody out, and got out of it with no runs allowed. Rosario looks back at second. This one grounded into the 5-6 hole. Brennan Cassio's going to get on with a single. No chance for Braden Olson, who's running for Gage Julin, to move up any further as he's on third now. The runners at the corners here with 1 gone, and the big spot here for the 10-hole hitter and Philip Jordan.
You've always got to think how much that runner's on the mind of the pitcher whenever they're looking back that many times, and how that could have maybe affected where he put that ball. And just a great piece of hitting by Cassio.
Is off from first. And there goes the double play opportunity. No throw even from Eastham.
It wasn't a contested.
Second pitch in the dirt, gets away from Eastham, but keeps decently in front of him. Braden Olson couldn't score in. Man, Rosario really struggling here. When he is missed way outside the zone. You saw that kind of a similarity with Thatcher Poteet, who we saw earlier today.
Already 2 wild pitches for Rosario, which is not what you want to see early.
1-1 pitch from him is inside. Borderline call. Sorry, not quite happy at that one, but he falls behind again for the 4th straight batter so far.
I've liked how he's used his slider so far. It seems like the pitch that he probably has the most control over so far. Even though a lot of them have been borderline, they still seem like they're being placed a lot better than his others.
A 2-seam, which you just saw right there, able to cut away to righties. The arm side run on that 2-seam got Jordan to chase a little bit on the outer half, and it's even back up at 2-2. 2 runners in scoring position. Julin walked. Braden Olson is over there at third. Courtesy running for him. At second is Brandon Cassio. 2-2 pitch. That one fouled back once again.
There's something you love to see out of your hitters is just fighting off an account. Still running up the pitch count on Rosario as he's up to 46 pitches already.
And we've seen guys go a long ways here for the Royal Blue Dogs this season. As that one's grounded foul. So far this year, their starters have been averaging 95 pitches. So just close to 17.9 pitches per inning. So just under 18 pitches per inning is how these guys have been working. So a lot of long pitches leads to a lot of long outings. And maybe some soreness in some arms, but guys trying to work back here and see how Rosario could do.
You always got to remember that they have that 4-game winning streak, and what that could have either a positive or negative effect on their.
That one gets away from Julin, or excuse me, from Ryan Eastham, as Olson coming in for Julin stays at third. Full count pitch now.
Like I was saying, you never know if a 4-game winning streak has a positive or negative effect on how many arms you have in your bullpen, as it depends on if your offense or your pitching really carried which games. So that could also be a factor to what could be going on tonight with Rosario.
Full count pitch coming here. That one's upstairs for a ball. Bases loaded now here with 1 out. And back-to-back innings now that the Bombers have an opportunity to maybe try to add on some more. Evan Heeb is going to come out and talk with his starting pitcher.
Still looks like they have no one out in the Blue Dogs bullpen. They might be sending someone out there soon, as Rosario already up to 50 pitches as he's only gotten through 4. He's only gotten 4 Bombers out so far.
Ethan Langfelder is the next one up. To see how Rosario does here. Like you mentioned, nobody in the bullpen for either of these teams so far. And after the full count walk to Philip Jordan, we now see the top of the order once again. Danny Spongberg. He walked this past inning, which has seemingly been a theme for a lot of these Bombers hitters. Just 1 walk here today, but base runners galore. First pitch is low for a ball to Spongberg. Langfelder is now at least out in the bullpen. Possibly getting ready if need be, but Rosario again falling himself behind further, now down 2-0 to Spongberg.
Those are always the pitches that really irritate you as a pitcher. Ones that you think are really close but end up just missing.
Another one is outside from Rosario, and jeopardy now of walking in a run here, down 3-0, and have to climb the ladder. Here's Rosario. Red light there for Spongberg. That one finds the zone. Langfelder again is up and now throwing in the Royal Blue Dogs bullpen. Looks like Brayton Bach is at least running out there to see what's next. 3-1. This one pop foul, so now the moves count back full. So good job here from Rosario to maybe climb back up against Danny Spongberg.
Those are always the coming back in those counts can always help you later in the at-bat. Help you gain a little bit of an edge.
Full count pitch is outside. And Rosario kicking the dirt there as he walks in a run. It's 2-0 Bombers here early. And the starter for the Royal Blue Dogs in Rosario has really struggled. 55 pitches so far in this one, just 22 strikes. That's 33 balls here in just an inning and a third. 6 walks, 2 wild pitches compared to 2 strikeouts. He's just allowed 1 hit. The only guy that's actually had to put anything in play was Brendan Cassio, and he delivered with a single. Other than that, it's been Caleb Lemon, who flat out to center to end off the first, and a grounded from Tanner Black to start off this one. But other than that, 8 different guys have got a different fortune set up here for these two. Fast inning.
You got to think how much more they're going to give Rosario, how much more of a leash they're going to give this Blue Dog.
And it's fallen behind here 3-0. Once again, back-to-back batters. Needs to find a way to get out of this jam. And that one's in the dirt. 3 straight walks. And it walks in the second run here in the second inning. It's 3-0 in favor of the Bombers. And it looks like we'll still see Rosario at least for one more batter. It's a questioning decision if you personally ask me, but Rosario 7 walks here. And just an inning and a third. 2 wild pitches. And the bases are still loaded. There's a hit by pitch.
And that will
this has got to be the day. This has got to be the day.
Yep.
Evan Heaves going to come out. That'll be the day for Tommy Rosario. A struggling day for him. 7 walks, 2 wild pitches, a hit by pitch, just 2 strikeouts, and any third of work, and that'll be the day for him. Let's take a quick break here on the Corn Belt League Network. Once we come back, we'll meet a new pitcher. Beautiful night here in Omaha, Nebraska. Corn Belt League action here on Tuesday Night Baseball. New pitcher here for the Royal Blue Dogs. It's going to be Ethan Langfelder. We originally had him set up as our third base coach, and we're going to talk to him after the inning about kind of his start to the season. He's kind of like Whit Rogers in a way, a big personality here in this league, but definitely didn't think that the starter and Tommy Rosario would go just an inning and third of work and have 7 walks as well as a hit by pitch. Langfelder having to come in pretty quickly to get ready. So far this season, he's kind of been one of the more consistent guys of the bullpen for the Royal Blue Dogs this season. 1-1 on the year, a 2.92 ERA. Has mainly been a starter, but also been available multiple nights as a reliever. 26 and a third innings pitch, a 1.63 ERA. Another guy that at times can struggle finding the zones with 19 strikeouts, but on the other end, 19 walks as well. Ground ball to short, throw on to first is in time for Brennan Redding, as the Royal Blue Dogs will give up a run for an out. 2 gone here and runners at second and third, but a 5-run piece here for the Bombers here in the bottom of the second.
Kyle Weber.
At the Blue Dogs, they got to first off get out of this inning, and then they really got to get it going offensively. Obviously, they did not expect to be down this big early, so they really got to amp it up. Obviously, still early, a lot of game left, but maybe kick something a little bit into hyperdrive.
The 9th batter of the day here is Kyle Weber. As Langfelder deals, he's upstairs for a ball. 2-0 now. Weber, one of 7 guys to walk in his first time up to the plate in the first inning. 2-0 pitch to him is upstairs, and he's kind of shaking his head a little bit. He hasn't even seen a pitch in the zone so far. 7 straight balls have come to Weber so far. And Langfelder, again, maybe not fully warm after having to come in so quickly. 3-0, finally able to find the zone, and it's 3-1.
Always something tough as a pitcher to come in on such short notice. Depends on how exactly you adjust, depending on how much time you really did have to really warm up. So
off speed's low for a ball. Another free pass, and that's been the story in just an inning and 2/3 here so far. And it looks like we're going to have a change now out and right. Braden Bach will now go in right as Luke Killinger is going to come in. Killinger will maybe come in to possibly be another relief arm. Braden Bach, another guy who does have pitching ability in this group. Also a 4.63 ERA, but still another available arm if they need him. This one by Lemon, driven down the left field line and foul.
Ooh, that was closer than I thought it was going to be.
A little flare jam shot a little bit from Lemon. But 2 runners on here, bases loaded here for Lemon. Kyle Weber's at first, Nico Saul at second, and Joey Barilla's at third. 1-1 pitch is upstairs, and again, Langfelder, one of 2 pitchers here today that just have not been able to find themselves ahead in counts. Base is still loaded here. Lemon, if he reaches here, the Bombers will go through this entire order here in this second inning. Big hack right there in the 3-1. He wanted all of that. Definitely a pitch over the heart of the plate, but Lemon just missed it. 3-2 pitch coming here. Runners are going to be off. And that one fouled back and out of play.
Almost had it.
We need some kind of defensive specialty show, maybe around the Corn podcast of what Corn Belt League crew member can make the most defensive plays. 3-2 pitch once again, and foul back in the same spot right by you, Mike.
Darn.
Ethan McCormick, who is now our director here today, knowing that he is going to get that one too.
I would have called him off.
Yeah, we know Mike's the better defender.
Exactly.
Full count pitch for the 3rd time here with 2 gone. Bases loaded, and that one hit him. And this struggling inning for pitching continues. We have batted around the entire order. And now we'll see Tanner Black come up for the 2nd time of the day as another run reaches. And it's 6-0 in favor of the Bombers.
Only 135 on the season for Black, but
Black's been mainly known defensively. We've called a couple Sports Center top 10 plays that we've seen him work out in center and right.
6 RBIs though. It's not too bad.
He gets underneath this one out to right, and able to make the play out there as Braden Bach, who just came out in there just 2 batters ago. Able to make the play, and that will end the 2nd. The Bombers leave the bases stranded. However, they do score 5 more, and they leave this one 6-0 as we head to the 3rd. Starting off the top of the 3rd here at J.J. Isaacson Field. It's a 6-0 lead for the Bombers. They added on 5 while only getting just 1 hit in the 2nd inning. 5 different walks and 2 hit by pitches brought in a bunch of runs. This is Brennan Redding. Redding was originally going to be up in the bottom of the 2nd. However, Devin Jones was caught stealing, which ended his opportunity. He'll chop this one foul down the 3rd base line. And again, we've seen Brennan put a lot down the left field line this season.
Definitely, yeah. He's a very, very big pull hitter. Many of his hits are always into left field usually. Definite. Also, 8 singles, 4 doubles, so he can put it pretty much wherever you want, wherever you need. 743 OPS, which is pretty decent for this Blue Dog team.
Which has skyrocketed these last couple of weeks. He's been one of the best hitters for the Royal Blue Dogs throughout these last 6 or 7 games, as he finds himself above now 3-1, as that one once again way outside as Levi Story put one in the dirt. Story's been able to bounce back after struggling first inning, and the bases loaded and just 1 out. Got a double play, a 5-3 double play to end off the first inning. Bounced back in the 2nd with a strikeout, a walk, or excuse me, a strikeout, a ground out, and a hit by pitch. But throw out a Devin Jones ended that inning. but starts off here in the third with a walk to Brennan Redding. And now we'll see the 10-hole hitter for the first time today, J.J. Schubert. Schubert, the first baseman here today. Again, we might see a couple switches with Luke Killinger and Braden Bach, but we'll give that one to you. Schubert at Iowa Lakes Community College. Has 7 singles, 7 for 22 on the year, a .318 average. And another one gets away from Story. Redding is all the way around to second. The ball got all the way around off the fencing near the first base dugout. But Gage Julin, who was on his horse to grab it, able to hold Redding just to 90 feet further.
Just like that, you got a runner on second with no out, and I believe the meat of their lineup coming up.
Yeah, we'll see the flipping of the lineup card here over after Schubert. There's Kojal, Carlson, and McDonald are next up. 1-0 pitch is outside for a ball, and again, the command has just not been there today for either of these starting pitchers. Rosario started out, ended the day with 64 pitches, just 23 of them being strikes. Story here, 36 pitches, just 17 of those being strikes. And make it one more ball as he's down 3-0.
Already down 3-0 again. Struggling to place his pitches correctly in this inning so far. He walked the first guy after, I think it was
4-pitch walk.
4-pitch walk, and then, no, it was 3-1 at one point.
Yeah, sorry, 5-pitch walk.
5-pitch walk.
Apologies.
And now back to 3-1 again on Schubert. So if he can come back in this at bat, he can figure out a way to get back into this at bat. Maybe
won't do it there. Back-to-back 5-pitch walks to the bottom of the order. Was our impact player in Redding. Schubert and Redding, even out of the bottom of the order, have been pretty consistent. And again, we'll now see Nate Smith for the second time today after going out in the first to try to warm up. Is walking gingerly out to the bullpen over there, maybe trying to see how long Story will go here. It's been a long day for some of these pitchers as the zone has been pretty normal, but they've not been able to find it. They combined, between the two teams so far, combined 12 walks and just 2 innings plus of work. And we'll now see the top of the order for the Royal Blue Dogs is Trent Kojal. Kojal grounded the first baseman as he's showing bunt here. That one's in the dirt underneath Julin. He kicks it around. Both runners are off. Over to second. Back to third. Redding is safe. As Redding easily got to third, Schubert was struggling a little bit. Didn't quite see how far it had gotten away from Julin. But now 2 runners here in scoring position. And those are some of those small things. We're not able to find the zone. Not only does that move guys further, not only do you fall behind in the count, but now the double play is out of order. And it can change just so many things.
Did I catch it?
As I think that almost caught him. Maybe a little pick hop at his step as Kojal's laughing a little bit as his dugout's messing with him a little bit.
You can kind of feel the
I don't think Kojal even saw that ball. He just had to jump.
He just jumped. I don't think he saw it until it was right at his feet. But you could feel the mood slightly shifting now.
That one's grounded over to first. Diving play by Nico Saul. Nobody's there at first as Levi's Story did not get over in time. And a run comes in on an infield single. And the diving play for Nico Saul doesn't help out the team at all. Now runners at the corners here as one run comes in. First of the day for the Royal Blue Dogs. And maybe a point here with nobody gone. We'll see what they can do here. Still down by 5.
Like I said, the feel of this game starting to shift just a little bit. As that'll move Kojal up into scoring position as well. So you think about it, a ball in the outfield, and this is a 3-run game just like that.
Kojal there. Another ball in the dirt as he's able to move up. And again, not only do you talk about a runner moves up, you fall behind, and now 2 runners in scoring position. and no double play. So again, the pitching struggles are just not helping these teams out. There's got to be a way for these pitchers to bear down and find the zone, and Story is not doing so, as the fourth batter of this inning is already ahead here 3-0.
I feel like he's also probably pitching around Carlson. 4-10 on the year. So he's probably trying to pitch around him just a little bit because he doesn't want to give him too much to hit, as this could really change the momentum here in the top of the third.
He walks.
Bases loaded, no outs now.
A big chance here for the Royal Blue Dogs, and not the guy you want to have up. This is Eli McDonald. You talk about a guy that you don't want to see in a big spot like this when the Royal Blue Dogs are trying to come back. McDonald walked in the first, however, up 3-1. McDonald didn't even get a chance to see a fifth pitch of the at-bat as Levi Story just said, hey, have a free pass. They intentionally walked him and falls behind once again. Austin Alexander's going to come out and talk to him. I think this may be the day. Nate Smith is now warm, and at least he's motioning towards the dugout. And that'll be the day for Levi Story. Bases loaded jam here as Nate Smith will come in. We'll take a quick break here on the Corn Belt League Network. Once we come back, we'll get you a little bit more familiar with the relief pitcher here for the Bombers. Beautiful full moon here in Omaha, Nebraska. It's been a little bit of a breezy night, but the pitching has struggled here. A new pitcher here for the Bombers is Nate Smith, and 12 2/3 innings of work. This is going to be his 7th appearance on the year, his 5th time out of the pen. Has an 8.84 ERA, 9 hit by pitches, 12 strikeouts compared to 12 walks, 16 earned runs this season. As that one is driven into right by Eli McDonald, and everybody moves up 90 feet. 1 run comes in, and this inning continues. The bottom of the second was an extremely long one for the Bombers, and this one, a long one, and possibly an even longer one here for the Royal Blue Dogs. There's still nobody out for Ryan Eastham. McDonald right there, that was his team best 19th RBI on the season on that single.
My goodness, JT, just like that, the tying run comes up to the plate with the bases loaded and no outs here in the top of the third. So that could make this game very interesting.
This is Ryan Eastham. He's 0 for 0 on the day, one of a lot of guys that have walked. He fouls this one out of play. Levi Story ends his day with 2 innings pitched, just 1 hit allowed, but 5 strikeouts, 5 wild pitches, and 1 hit by pitch. He's still responsible for the runner at second and third. As we'll see if Nate Smith can figure a way to at least minimize here. And of all things, with bases loaded, nobody out, and 2 runners in, the Bombers still have a 4-run lead, so still maybe a little bit more of a comfortable spot for Smith. 2-1 pitch coming from him. That one inside for ball 3. And again in jeopardy of walking in a run.
Just a quick glance at Story's line is, if you look at it, it's not too bad at the first look at it, but then you look at the 5 walks along with the 5 wild pitches, 2 earned runs, 1 hit, and 1 strikeout, which really those would end up being from Levi Story.
The zone has been open, and after a borderline call for a strike, a borderline called outside for a ball, another runner is walked in, and this one is getting ugly on both ends. The pitching has just not been there. I'm sounding like a broken record, walk after walk after walk after walk. We've seen 18 total free passes between hit by pitches and walks between these two sides, and we're not even through 2.5 yet.
Yeah, we've currently seen only 12 recorded outs in 72 minutes of game time. And here in the top of the third, still no out with bases loaded and the go-ahead run at the plate for the Royal Blue Dogs.
This is Braden Bach, who came in for Luke Killinger, more so for pitching than anything. Bach is switching with Killinger. He's still at the 5 spot in the order, but now he's the right fielder. Killinger now switches to the extra hitter, but he's still in the same spot in the order, down at 7th.
Seems like for the first time in a long time, a pitch.
Justin Alexander, if Smith can find a way to at least keep the Bombers a lead headed to the bottom of the third, you got to be somewhat happy, as that one almost hits Bach way inside.
I still don't hate that as a 1-2 pitch, because you don't know exactly what he's going to swing at. He could maybe try to chop at that one and make him look like he has a sword, or jam him in that situation.
Bach fouls this one out of play, and back even at 2-2.
Please turn off all balls to the first or third base dugout.
Nate Smith trying to get the first out of this inning. The 7th batter to come onto the plate here in the top of the third. 2-2 pitch is chopped over to the third. Nico Saul's going to throw home. They get 1. Throw back to first is off the glove of Nico Saul. Going to go into right field. Eli McDowell's going to come around to score. So the Bombers are able to get 1 coming home, but Julian's throw gets away from Saul, and able to reach safely is Bach on the fielder's choice, and a run does come in. And that was just a 2-run ball game. And for the back-to-back time, Robu Ikarashi now will represent the go-ahead run here in the top of the third. We've seen 3 balls actually hit into play here in this top of the third inning, but 3 different walks have been the issue for these Bombers pitching staff, and both sides have really struggled pitching-wise. Another thing to think about here is the current pitcher for the Royal Blue Dogs is Ethan Langfelder, but Langfelder right now is coaching third base, so maybe not exactly a ton of time for him to maybe get re-warm, as he's been waiting out here at third for over 20 minutes now.
It's another borderline pitch there from Smith. His control does seem to be more in his control these last few pitches, these last few at bats. So seems like he's starting to get a little more comfortable, which is desperately what the Bombers need in this jam.
Ikarashi swings and misses at the 1-1. Still runners at the corners. Ikarashi, infield chopper over to third. Weber bobbles it, gets away from him. No throw. They'll go back to second, but nothing there. Another runner comes in. We'll see if they call that one an error or a hit. It would have been a tough play, but either way, definitely a play Weber should have made.
It definitely should have. Those are the kinds of plays that you don't necessarily want to. Those are the kinds of plays you don't necessarily want to focus on the runner that's coming home. You just want to focus on getting the out at first, and it looks like he was trying to be a little too quick on that one, and it forced him to make a mistake and let the run come across while only still being one out, and the tying run on second base for the Royal Blue Dogs now.
That's a 6-5 ball game. The runner out there at second is Braden Bach, who reached on the fielder's choice. Robu Ikarashi, who just reached on the little infield choppers at first. The 9th batter here in the top of the third. A 5-run inning. A direct answer after a 6-run bottom of the second. Or excuse me, a 5-run bottom of the second for the Bombers.
And just like that, Jaden, the go-ahead run for the Royal Blue Dogs moves up into scoring position.
Another pitch gets away. It's the 6th wild pitch of the ball game for these Bombers between Levi Story and Nate Smith. And again, sounding like a broken record once again. It's another situation where the double play gets out of order. Another runner moves up and you fall behind further in the count. The infield is in here for the Bombers. Smith desperately needs to try to get out of this one. 1 gone, 2 runners in scoring position, as that one's lifted foul. This is Luke Killinger. Again, we mentioned the switch. He's now the extra hitter, as Braden Bach came in to play right field. We'll see if Killinger wants to even warm up now, as that was at least my interpretation of the change. Here's another arm that is available here tonight. 2-1 pitch to him. This one driven into right center field. Danny Spongberg coming on. It's going to get over his glove. Extra bases here for Luke Killinger. He's going to head to third. 2 runs are going to come in on a 2 RBI stand-up triple for Luke Killinger, and the Royal Blue Dogs take the lead back 7-6.
What a huge 3-bagger there from Luke Killinger. A great pitch placement, but just an even better bat placement, just enough to put it over the center fielder's head into the gap. And just like that, the Royal Blue Dogs take the lead in the top of the third with a 7 spot here in this inning.
They'll check back at first, look for an appeal. Killinger did step on first base.
I think they were doing that because it looked like he slipped a little bit, and
Yeah, Killinger did kind of not quite biff it, but half biffed it coming around first base.
That's
but
impressive. He was still able to get to third standing up.
Yeah, with a speedy Spongberg out there in the center. That one got almost all the way to the wall. It stopped at the warning track out there in right center. And a bases clearing triple. And man, after we thought the struggles from the pitching staff for Tommy Rosario were enough to put up 6 for the Bombers, they then let up a 7 spot here so far. Could be even more, as there's still just 1 out here in the third. This is the 10th batter. Is Devin Jones here. Unless there's a double play, the Royal Blue Dogs will 100% go through the order here in the third.
No lead is safe in baseball.
Jones fouls that one off. I know, Mike. You want one of those.
I just want to feel that my season just ended.
I know it's getting hard for me too. You kidding me?
Winning.
I'm used to playing every night, being out there throwing. pitching every 2 to 3 days out of the pen, playing at Werner, playing at Tal. Why did I play at Tal? But playing at Werner, playing at a couple other fields, and now we're sitting up here.
Ooh.
That one hits Jones.
That's his second.
And Jones has been hit by, yeah, you mentioned. Jones has been hit by 2 pitches today by 2 different pitchers. And this inning continues. Runners at the corners here with just still 1 gone. And that brings up Brennan Redding again.
Something about those bat flips after he gets hit. I'm assuming it's got to be something with the just trying to play off the pain.
Oh, yeah, I mean, definitely some anger there anytime you get hit with a 80-plus mile-an-hour fastball coming at you.
This doesn't compare, but
yeah,
it's not fun.
Still, it's definitely not the same feeling.
You're not allowed to rub it, so you got to do something else to try to make it hurt a little less.
Plus, with Jones's speed, I mean, it's hard 90s all the way.
Exactly.
First pitch to Redding's in there for a strike. If you're just joining us here, it looks like a 7-6 ball game, maybe an action-packed one. This has been an interesting one. We are an hour and 21 minutes into this one, and just the pitching is just not been there. Just not been there as that one gets away. Coughlin able to get in front of it, but another possible wild pitch. There's been 6 of them here today just for the Bombers alone. On the other end, Tommy Rosario also had 2. The free passes have just been stacking up.
Yeah, if you are just joining us and you think this is an offensive shootout, I feel like the run hits errors line says it all. 7 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Royal Blue Dogs, and 6 runs, 1 hit, and 2 errors for the Bombers. Make that 8 runs for the Blue Dogs.
7th wild pitch, another run comes in. Devin Jones heads to second after the stolen base, but gets a little too greedy, heading to third. Still a close play, but Gage Julian able to throw to Kyle Weber to get out Jones. It is the second out of the inning, and I don't think the Royal Blue Dogs are too quite happy about Jones getting thrown out. As this one's still now a 2-run ball game, the Blue Dogs add on another. It's the 8th run here in this top of the third. It's been a long last, at least inning look. I guess the top of the third.
Back at these last 4 games for the Blue Dogs in this 4-game winning streak, most of them, they've all been really close games. 5-4 against the Black Sox, 3-1 against the Red Raiders, 10-7 against the Crop Dusters, and 3-2 versus the Haymakers. So these haven't been blowout wins that they've been having. They've all been pretty close games that they've looks like just been squeaking by.
And the way the Royal Blue Dogs pitching staff has been struggling, I think if you're them right now, even up by 2, is you mentioned no lead is safe. It was a 6-run lead for the Bombers heading into this inning, and the Royal Blue Dogs able to put up an 8 spot. The Bombers have already been able to put up a 5 spot in this one. So again, I think if you're the Royal Blue Dogs, the mentality's got to be now you got to keep the foot on the throat of these Bombers and add on some more, because a lot of ball game still left.
No, whenever I hear the no lead is safe line, I always think back to the regionals where Missouri State was up 12-0 on Oklahoma State, and Oklahoma State came back and ended up winning that game by 14.
There's a lot of different games you see in baseball. There's a reason there's no time clock on baseball, as there's a pickoff right there. Redding's going to head to second. He's in time. Throw goes all the way into left field from Nico Saul. And after getting Redding to guess there, jump too early, it ends up being another sloppy play as Redding was able to slide into second. Ethan Langfelder, you see on your screen, running back around, going to have to.
He's been out there for probably half an hour at this point.
It's going to be an interesting one if he's even fully warm. He's had to sit out there for a half an hour here on this top of the third. He's been the third base coach this entirety of this one.
What? I think he called time just before.
I don't know if they gave him.
He didn't call strike.
They didn't call a strike. They didn't call time. He just stepped out of the box, and I guess J.J. Schubert is on his own time. And he swings at that one.
I wish I could step out of the box whenever I see a strike coming.
Right?
Exactly.
Right? See at any time.
0-2, see a slider just come in. That's just breaking.
Not mine.
Nah, that's not mine.
Old like 1880s ball. You could have like your specific pitches to come right at you.
Exactly.
Baseball will just be better that way. 0-2. is in the dirt. Julian able to keep it in front of him. This is the 12th batter of this top of the third. We've been playing this one for 35 minutes after a 25-minute bottom of the second inning.
Do you just look at your clock before each inning? Is that how you know?
Kinda. I'm more guessing. This is
That's
within 2 minutes we are there, but you get the point.
seems about. So I think Nate Smith is now up to 30 pitches already in this inning. I think it's more like 32 at this point.
And he didn't even start this inning.
He did not even start this inning. He came in with bases loaded, no out, and he's given up 4 earned runs on only 2 hits.
It's been a long top of the third. Trying to get that first strikeout for Nate Smith. That ends this top of the third off. It's still a 2-run ball game. The Bombers now have a chance to possibly take the lead back after giving up an 8 spot. We head to the 4th. Back here in the bottom of the third, the Royal Blue Dogs put up an 8 spot in the top of the third after being down 6. And Ethan Langfelder, who had to sit out there at third base, is the third base coach for just about 90% of that half-hour third inning. Is now back on the mound. We'll see if he can find the zone a little bit better than the last couple pitches that we've seen here. And maybe after dealing with a little bit more time to sit, when he's able to start off with a fastball and a strike and start off this third inning. I think pitch is a ball. 1 run in the first for the Bombers, then they added 5 more in the second. We just saw an 8-run third as that one's driven into center. Devin Jones slipped up and was unable to make the play. It got in front of him. It was going to be a hard play either way. But a single right there for Gage Julin as that one was driven up the middle.
Yeah, those plays where you have to switch directions pretty quickly because you don't get the best read on the ball can sometimes be tough because you can always slip like that. And that obviously hindered him from being able to make that play.
And it would have been a hard play, and the lighting can definitely be hard here as well. Braden Olson, you just saw on your screen, is now courtesy running for Gage Julin. Brennan Cassio now, that one gets away from Ryan Eastham. Another free pass as Braden Olson is now up to second.
That's got to be, I believe, is that 10?
I'll find it.
9. That's 9 wild pitches combined between these two.
And they'll call that one a pass ball, but...
wild pitches and pass balls.
But yes, not 9.
Whatever you want to call them.
Overall.
There's been
9 free passes due to a pitch going outside the zone, yes.
There's been a lot of them. And we're only at the bottom of the third.
Yes, 9 free passes through there. We've also seen
15 walks.
15 combined walks. You add on 4 more hit by pitches. And we'll see now if Langfelder, who was able to work decently after Rosario struggled in the bottom of the second, see what he can do now.
We've seen 14 combined runs and 5 combined hits between these two teams.
Now the pitching has been struggling. It's just saw time there. I think Brennan Cassio stepped out and called time for himself. Braden Olson is out there at second. He's having the night off after being one of the most prolific hitters this past week. As this one from Cassio is driven out to left, it's going to go over the head of Trent Kozel, and it's going to get all the way to the wall. Extra bases here from Cassio is going to bring in a run. He'll stop at second as the throw comes into third. And it's back to a 1-run ball game. Brandon Cassio with an RBI double, and it's 8-7.
It's a great piece of hitting there by Cassio. Also puts him in scoring position to tie this game up again. Just waited back on his pitch and completely smoked that over the left fielder's head. All the way to the back, all the way to the wall, it looked like. Pumped the brakes at second, but
Philip Jordan.
Great pitch there.
Yeah, good start right there. Able to try to find some kind of answer here for Ethan Langfelder.
If they can keep this to a 1-run lead, that would be huge for them.
Cassio's off from second, no throw. As Langfelder wasn't keeping too much of a close eye on Cassio over there at second. As now we're going to see the entire infield. Oh, Langfelder called for the entire infield to stay in. The corners are now on the grass. The middle infield is still staying back, however. As the 0-2 pitches upstairs.
He's still got at least a pitch to work with that he doesn't need to throw exactly his best pitch in the zone. He can try to obviously make him chase it or blow him something by him.
Jordan lifts this one foul, and behind us up here in the press box. We've had 2 games here in the Corn Belt League. Both of them have been here on the Corn Belt League Network at Seymour Smith Park. A big blowout win for the Rail Riders. Started off our day 7-1.
8-7 was the final score of last night's nightcap.
That was a fun one.
That was a very fun one.
You saw after the Filthballers blew out the Red Raiders in the first game, it was not even close.
Was not expecting that.
Yeah, it came back. The Red Raiders kind of pounced on a strong start from Tanner Versalino. Tony Donahue was solid out of the bullpen, kept him in it, but 6 errors for the Red Raiders. You can't win a lot of ball games when you have that many errors defensively, and the Filthballers, who somewhat struggled offensively, at least for their standards, found a way to come back. As a walk here, Cassio was halfway down the line trying to get possibly Ryan Eastham to be sleeping. He reaches back to third safely, but again, Brendan Anderson, who's, I can't take a take that he is not the best hitter in the league. When they needed it, an RBI single up the middle, put in 3 runs after being down 7-5, headed into the 7th. They put up 3 runs, and then Noah Wing, their closer, came in and closed the door. 2 strikeouts, and that was the day for the Red Raiders. 2 different losses in 2 games here at Seymour Smith. That was an interesting one. I thought in that one, commentated the first game, then, hey, I might throw the second, but
You almost did. I don't think they expected to need to put in their ace at that point.
Yeah, they brought in Josh Ostin to end that one off, just 2 days removed from throwing 60 pitches. This one from Spongberg's driven down the left field line. That gets down in fair territory. Cassio's going to head home. Throw goes on to third. Philip Julin is caught dead to rights there, and he's called out as he breaks open the bag a little bit over there at third. Spongberg moves to second. It looks like we're going to have a little bit of a delay out here. Jordan might have been a little bit injured there, but They're more
What?
pertaining to the bag over there at third.
It's the Hollywood base. It's supposed to not do that. But on the other end, if you're the Red Raiders, you should take out of that game that you needed the best hitter in the league to come in clutch in order to beat you in that game. So if you're the Red Raiders, you got to be looking at the positives in that one. You only lost by a run to the best team by far in the league by only a run, while also giving up 6 errors, also committing 6 errors. So you always got to remember what could have been if they had a little bit better feeling last night, and they could have even pulled out a win. You never know.
Those are the things with the Filthballers. That's why they're the best team here in this league. They find ways to win, and even when all the things aren't going together, they finally just find ways to come up in clutch situations, squeak games out. That's been the story for a couple games this season. The Rail Riders have really been the only team to maybe find their number, specifically Garrett Vosica. But outside of that, it's been a magnificent year for the Filthballers. Joey Burrill drives another one down the left field line. He's going to stay at first, but an RBI single for Joey Burrill. And the Bombers have the lead back. It's a 9-8 ball game. And the hits are finally back in store as the top of this order for the Bombers has come through in a big way.
We're coming up on 100 minutes of game time, and we are in the bottom of the third with 17 combined runs in this one. Already been 3 lead changes, and the biggest lead has been 6 by the team that is now leading by 1.
Big swing and a miss right there. Nico Saul thought he was going to drive that one way into the night sky, but definitely didn't see the curveball coming at him. Just a seed right there from Ryan Eastham as Brill gets up a little gingerly as he'll run off. I'm not sure if there's a little conversation between him and the umpire out there at second, but Brill will come back. Maybe a little bit of an injury for him, but it seems fine. Not quite sure what might be the issue. Back here for Nico Saul. He looks at a ball upstairs.
Nico Saul can put the ball pretty much wherever he needs to. In a situation like this, he can basically put it wherever he wants since he's got no one on base.
Yeah, a lefty that a lot of times you'd see with the power that he has might be a pull side guy, but like you mentioned, his spray chart's been all over the place. He's been able to drive just every ball to the outfield. That's been the theme for him, though. He's had a lot more of a fly ball percentage rather than a ground ball percentage, but here with nobody on base here, a little strikeout
to end off the inning. That's a big strikeout there to keep it at a 1-run game.
Yeah, it keeps it a 1-run game. The Bombers get the lead back. They lead this one 9-8 as we head to the fourth. The Royal Blue Dogs trying to add. Dogs are out here tonight at J.J. Isaacson Field. The Royal Blue Dogs taking on the Bombers. Look at that cute little guy over there. Down the third base line here, showing off a spirit. Maybe down third base line for the Bombers, but still a little spirit for the Royal Blue Dogs playing here today. We've seen a lot of different dogs here in a couple of these games, but a beautiful night to bring your dog here out to Seymour Smith Park. Not a better place in Omaha to watch some baseball here in July.
I mean, what's better than being able to come to a baseball game where it's nice and breezy, not too hot, not too cool, and you can just hang out with your dog and watch some baseball. I don't think that there's much.
You can't ask much more than that. Nate Smith on here working his second inning of relief. Just missed a start for him, excuse me. Levi Story really struggled, came in, just allowed one hit, but gave up a tremendous amount of walks. 6 different walks, 2 hit by pitches, and 5 wild pitches from Levi Story. He had 55 pitches in his inning and a third of work, 22 of them strikes. And Nate Smith coming in after that with nobody out, just one guy out, trying to work out of it. And 2/3 of an inning of work, also threw 30 pitches to get 2 outs, just 15 of them strikes. And the Royal Blue Dogs capitalized for 8 runs in the top of the third. There's a big swing and a miss right there from Trent Collegiate, and another strikeout right there for Nate Smith. It's the second of the day so far. The back-to-back here after striking out J.J. Schubert to end off the third. And maybe Nate Smith able to find himself a little bit.
It should be an interesting matchup. Carlson batting .410 on the year.
1-0 pitch coming to him is inside, then walked in the third.
Carlson, another guy that'll put the ball pretty much wherever he can.
As he fouls this one on the first base side. And a quick 2 outs here as Nico Saul's able to haul it in. And 2 gone here. And a real good bounce back inning thus far for Nate Smith.
Sure has. It's been probably about an hour since, if not more, since we've seen 2 quick outs in an inning. So some great pitching here from Nate Smith to get the first 2 of the inning. But as we've seen, the last out has always been the hardest for these pitchers.
Yeah, this is Eli McDonald. He came through with a big 2 RBI single this past hit him. Yikes.
He turned to.
Yeah, definitely not giving him anything, to say the least, there on that one.
Looks like there's a little bit of chirping going on, too.
I think more just staring back and forth. There's more what's going on between those two. Smith here with the 1-1 and able to dot it up once again. That's a hard pitch to look at. I mean, for McDonald, I mean, you see a ball that's just about 2 feet or 2 inches, excuse me, from hitting your dome, and then he just gasses you up on the outside. Hard to swing at that one. 1-2. This one popped way out and foul.
Goodness.
That was very high. According
That
to
was
Major
a
League, that was very
moonshot
high.
behind us. Might have hit the splash pad back there.
That was, yeah, way out here, as you probably hearing the footsteps of about 7 kids going to run after that one. One-two pitch coming here from Smith. Once again, way popped up very high, and it's out of play. Ricochets off some stands, and we'll do the 1-2 for the 3rd time. McDonald again, like we mentioned, with Nick Carlson's been arguably some of the best hitters that we've seen, not just for the Royal Blue Dogs this season, but very well put themselves as all-star selections for this group. Trying to work away from Nate Smith to get himself out of a 1-2-3 inning is, again, McDonald has to duck out of the zone as that one almost hit him.
Do love what what Nate Smith has been able to do this inning. This looks like the most control a pitcher has had so far in any inning.
2-2 pitch. This one's grounded over to short. Caleb Lemon picks it up. Throw on to first is in time. And right after an inning of wackiness in the third, Nate Smith's able to slow it down a little bit and puts down the Royal Bulldogs in order 1, 2, 3. And we'll head to the bottom of the fourth. We'll see if the Bombers can add on to their lead. Weber and Lemon here in the fourth for the Bombers. This is Ethan Langfelder back on the mound here in his third inning of work. Langfelder has had to kind of step into a role a little bit, as well as Evan Heeb. He's kind of helping coaches here as Coach Guido's been dealing with some ailments as of recent. Want to give a quick shout out to Coach Guido, the Royal Blue Dogs. Hope everything is going well from him, and everybody here in the Corn Belt League are in our thoughts and prayers going forward. Definitely one of the most interesting coaches that I've met here in the Coach Guido, and I think it's got a thing I got to see by the end of the summer. So hopefully we'll see Coach Guido back here in just a little bit of time. But a shout out to him from everybody up here in the Corn Belt League. One of the nicest guys, and this man that just knows a bunch about baseball and really keeps it towards his entire life, and just incredible to see what he's been able to do in his career. We'll see what his Royal Blue Dogs now can try to do down here by one, as that one gets inside. And an early base runner here for James Grease, as Ryan Easton will come out and talk back up to Langfelder.
Now batting, the third baseman from Bellevue University, number 3, Kyle Weber.
This is Kyle Weber. He, so far today, the third baseman, has not had to pick the bat off his shoulders. He has looked at 8 pitches and has walked both times in the first and second.
Yeah, he's
runners off from first. Strong throw from Eastham, but not in time, gets away and skids a little bit towards right center field. As now a runner in scoring position here, and again, the Bombers just taking advantage of sometimes the lack of consistency in remembering the guys on the base path for these Royal Blue Dogs pitchers. And again, James Grease, now his second stolen base of the day, 9th overall this season.
Kyle Weber is one of those guys who's definitely got some pop in their bat. He launched one over the fence against the Filthballers just back on July 8th. So
yeah, he's a guy that does have a lot of pop in the middle heart of this order. We talked about Saul, we talked about Grease, and Weber's another guy right there that can lift one really when he needs to. And he's had an opportunity here to possibly add on some more. Big secondary out there at second by James Grease, but he'll run back as Ryan Easton was trying to keep it at bay.
As a base runner, you always want to try to be smart, but also try to get yourself to, yeah, just like that. Keep yourself in the back of the pitcher and catcher's mind, which can also mess with their game as well.
Langfelder taking a long time making sure that Grease doesn't go anywhere. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Chased that a ball inside was Kyle Weber.
Just made him look silly on that one.
And a little bit of a sword sing right there from Weber, trying to look in that off speed that we saw from Langfelder. And the strikeout here from Langfelder will bring up Caleb Lemon. Lemon here today is 0 for 1, was the one who ended the first inning with a fly out to center, then was hit by a pitch in the second.
Try to add to this lead. That's a great pitch there.
Runner is way out before the pitch even went off, or got out of the hand, excuse me, of Langfelder, and an easy stolen base for James Grease, and make that the third of the day. 10 on this season, as they've just been able to fool any kind of look Tommy Rosario and Ethan Langfelder have been able to give him. Another walk right there.
That's the 17th walk between these two teams and the 10th
The right fielder
for the Royal Blue Dogs.
Number 42, Tanner Black.
I'll bring up Tanner Black. 2 free passes here already in this one. Just in this fourth alone. The free passes have been the story all day long. As there's runners on the corners now with just one out. They'll check back at first. Gets away from Schubert. The run's going to come in. And another just odd, messy play. Gives up another run here from the Bombers.
Seemed almost unnecessary on Langfelder's part. You already have your that guy on third. You don't want to really risk anything. And that just makes it harder on his offense. And he still only has one out.
Bombers now lead 10-8. Runners off from first, but it's fouled back by Black. And no chance for Caleb Lemon, at least for that pitch alone, to get his 6th strikeout of the season. Excuse me, 6th stolen base of the season.
Definitely seems like there's a lot of speedsters in this league.
Yeah, the Bombers, that's been a kind of piece to their game. They just had just about everybody in their lineup. 12 different guys have had a stolen base. This one driven out into left field. It's going to hang up for Trent Koziol. And that's the second out of the inning, as we'll see Caleb Lemon have to retreat back over to first. But, man, off the bat, I thought that one was going a lot further than it did. Tanner Black definitely squared that one up, but that's definitely maybe an unlucky look there in the ballpark, as that one stayed in and Trent Koziol was able to make the play. Again, it's still just a 2-run ball game, so still a comfortable spot for both of these teams to keep themselves into it. It's been a back-and-forth style ball game between these two. The pitching has just not quite been there. And speaking of pitching, still nobody in the bullpen for the Bombers. They'll go with Nate Smith after a strong last inning. He was able to shut down the Royal Blue Dogs 1-2-3, which is the first 1-2-3 half inning that we've seen all day. The Royal Blue Dogs, depending upon how long they want to go with Langfeld, there is a righty, I believe Luke Killinger from my eyesight over there in the bullpen for the Royal Blue Dogs, has not started throwing, but is already out there if needed. Lemon's off from first, and an easy stolen base. Once again, no throw. As I don't know if it's just the mix between just lack of looks from Langfelder, or if it's just incredible jumps by these Bombers, but they've just kind of been able to take just any bag they want here so far. Two-0 pitch finds the zone to Gage Julin. Julin here is 1 for 1 on the day at a single up the middle. Back to start off this past inning in the third. Did also walk in the second. 2-1 pitch to him. That one almost nicks him. It's inside for ball 3.
At one point, Julin started out the season amazing. Looked like one of the best hitters in the league. Cooled off as of late. In his last game, though, did go 2 for 4, so.
Yeah, definitely kind of starting back on the right track these past couple of games. He's reached base now 3 consecutive plate appearances, 2 of them being walks. The ball then gets away from Eastham as it was in the dirt. And you see Lemon now moves 90 feet closer. You see him on his screen at third. Runners at the corners here, and Evan Heaves going to come out and talk to Langfelder here. Another struggling performance so far for these pitchers. That's kind of been the theme here today. Langfelder in 2 innings of work. 2 1/3 innings of work so far. 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned. Now 6 walks, and does have 2 strikeouts as well. He will leave him out there. And there is one guy just ending his bullpen day out there. We'll see if they go. That is Luke Killinger out there in the bullpen. He's going to sit out there on the stand, see how much longer they'll go with Langfelder here. Runners at the corners here with 2 gone. As this is Brendan Cassio. Cassio's had an incredible day. It's really all just been these last 2 innings. Singled in the second, which brought in a run, then had a double this past inning in the second. It was just a shot out towards left center field. He's going to put down a bunt here with 2 outs. Langfeld's going to come up. A jump throw gets off of Cassio's head and goes deeper into the outfield. A run comes in. Braden Olson, who came into courtesy run for Gage Julin, gets all the way around to third. And now runners at the corners. Once again, another run comes in. The Bombers now lead by 3 in just not quite 4 innings of work. We've had 19 runs come in.
And we've just hit 10 o'clock, which is the 2-hour mark. We're in the bottom of the 4th in this one.
So we'll see if they call that one an error. I believe they will. It was a strong throw either way. It just got right off the noggin of Brendan Cassio. And sometimes if the bat doesn't work, which, I mean, it has for Cassio today, sometimes you got to use your head a little more. Cassio stays at first. Curveball, borderline call. Langfelder doesn't like it, but it's inside to Phillip Jordan. Phillip Jordan, one of 2 guys here today that has not even had to take the bat off his shoulders. He's walked twice.
I thought they couldn't call a bunt an error. Or is that a drag bunt? There's something about a bunt like not being able to be called an error.
I mean, it's a good point. Our game changer is not fully updated, so we'll see the official scoring rule. At least on the scoreboard, it was put as an error. I think definitely at least, if not the bunt being the error, at least the ball going off the head and going into right field, bringing in a run and moving another guy over would have been an error. That one driven into right. Another run's going to come in. Phillip Jordan with a single. Cassio, who was off on the pitch, is going to head into third. And this inning just keeps on going here for the Bombers. They've added back to their lead. It's now 12-8.
So we have the Blue Dogs with a four game win streak, which is obviously in jeopardy. But can we mention something in MLB?
Go for it.
The Baltimore Orioles are 44-44. 9-game win streak.
9-game win streak for the Baltimore Orioles. Thank you, Mike.
When was the last?
Probably only one of maybe 5 Orioles fans and the entirety of Nebraska. I can't talk much. I'm somehow a Marlins fan. But here in this one, Danny Spongberg is now up working on Ethan Langfelder. Back to the top of the order once again. We have seen now 4 plate appearances for Danny Spongberg in just 4 innings so far. As that one almost nicked him once again. Another pitch inside from Langfelder. This inning just continues here. They are going to officially call that Brennan Cassio bunt a hit. They will call it an error after the ball going away. So it gets on a hit, but an error for the Royal Blue Dogs as the run came home. And the second runner moved around to third, which was Braden Olson at the time.
This would be huge for Langfelder to get out of this one.
Still a four-run ball game. Strike 3 on the outer half. Got Spongberg guessing. And the second strikeout of the inning for Ethan Langfelder ends it. However, the Bombers added on 3 more runs. They have scored in every single inning so far. They lead this one by 4. It's 12-8 as we head to the 5th. Nate Smith back in the mound here for the Bombers. Had a really solid 4th inning. Was able to drop down the Royal Blue Dogs 1-2-3. A strikeout, pop out, foul to Nico Saul, and then a ground out to Caleb Lemon, the shortstop. That's probably been the most efficient inning we've seen from a pitcher here today. And we'll see if Nate Smith can continue that style of momentum here in the 5th as the Bombers have regained the lead 12-8 after originally leading this one 6-0. A 1-run first and a 5-run second. The Royal Blue Dogs unleashed a 35-minute, 8-run top of the 3rd. The Bombers answered back with 3 runs of their own. The pitching has kind of been the biggest question mark so far between these 2 teams. Is Smith now is really dialing up the zone a little bit more here in his 3rd inning of work. For the Royal Blue Dogs, their 2 pitchers so far have given up 7 hits, 12 runs. All of them have been earned, but 12 walks compared to just 5 strikeouts, 5 wild pitches, and 2 hit by pitches to add on top of that. Have been a struggling start for those 2 men. On the other end, Levi Story really struggled, especially in that 3rd inning. Was kind of bailed out in the 1st after having bases loaded and 1 out, got a double play. But then that 3rd inning could not even get an out in that one. Just allowed 1 hit in this game, but 4 earned runs, 5 walks, just 1 strikeout. But the biggest thing for him was a hit by pitch as well as 5 wild pitches. He just could not find the zone here tonight. 2-2 pitch there from Smith, grounded over to Casio. Throw on to first is in time. And they're able to retire that batter right there. It's for the first out of the inning.
Another great at bat and great both sides of the ball.
Your attention, please. Pitch hitting for the Royal
From
Blue
the hitter
Dogs.
fighting it off, from Smith just
36,
hanging in there and
Josh Moore.
eventually converting on the out for the first put out of the inning.
This is Josh Moore. Going to be a pinch hitter here as the Royal Blue Dogs go to the bench. Moore this season, 9 for 38. All of his hits have been singles. 237 average, just have 3 RBI, and has come around to score 4 times as he chases it a fastball outside, way out in front of that one. And evens the count back up at 1 apiece. One pitches outside. So here in this one, Mike, I mean, again, it's been a long one here. In 3 hours is the time limit. And if we at least don't have a, apologies, 2.5, originally told 3, but yes, 2.5 hours is the time limit here in this one. So that could be a factor here in this next inning. Of we've had 2 half innings that have gone over 30 minutes. And we're just here in the top of the 5th. So for the Royal Blue Dogs now, if you got to take that a little bit into consideration, is how the way these innings have been working. You maybe have to find a way to answer back and get back the lead within these next couple of outs, as that's not the way to do it. As back-to-back ground outs to Brennan Casio now has 2 gone here for Robu Ikarashi.
Or if they can't get anything done here in this 5th inning, they're going to have some strong pitching to get them out of the bottom half of the 5th quick, so they can at least get another opportunity to come back in this one. Otherwise, obviously the time limit will become a giant factor, as it's already 2 hours and 10 minutes into this one. So
very likely this could even possibly be the last inning, as the Bombers do have to hit in the bottom half of this inning. Again, they'll go through the entire inning, so if the Royal Blue Dogs and Bombers get through this 5th here in less than 21 minutes, and we will get a 6, but that would be it unless we are tied. A strikeout right there for Nate Smith. Back-to-back quality innings for Smith, and he's showing some life here. 2 strikeouts, 3 groundouts, and a pop-out. 6 up, 6 down these last 2 innings for the Bombers and Nate Smith. Royal Blue Dogs now will work back on defense and see if they can hold these Bombers just a 4-run lead. New pitcher here.
Joey Burrill.
New pitcher here for the Royal Blue Dogs. He'll be going up against Joey Burrill. This is Luke Killinger. Killinger this season mainly been hitting. Has kind of been one of the outfield pieces for this team. But pitching-wise has been another guy out of the bullpen for this group. This is his 6th appearance of the year. 5th time out of the pen. Is working a fastball that mixes in between 82 to 84 miles per hour. Is one of 3 guys on this Royal Blue Dogs team from Arizona Christian University. Both him, Ryan Eastham, who he's working with behind home plate, as well as Evan Heeb. Killinger on the year in 14 1/3 innings of work. Has kind of struggled, 7.81 ERA, a 2.44 whip, which is not what you want to see out of a guy out of the bullpen. 11 walks compared to 15 strikeouts. 1-1 pitch to Burrill is chopped over to third. Eli McDonald, strong throw on to first, is in time for the first out of the inning.
He looks like he'd at least been having a decent year. Maybe struggled against the Haymakers, but back on July 2nd against the Rail Riders through 5 and 2/3 innings, faced 35 batters on 118 pitches, 10 earned runs, gave up 12 hits,
Now
5 walks,
the
6
first baseman
strikeouts,
from Wabash Valley, number
and
37,
not what you want to
Nico
see from a guy like
Saul.
him.
Yeah, definitely trying to maybe find his pacing a little bit. This one's still a ball game. Another thing to think about, right? Still 16 minutes, and not a lot of people like to put a timer on baseball, but a 2.5 hour time limit, here in the Corn Belt League, and with 2 30-plus inning or 30-plus minute half innings that we've seen here in this one, it's definitely becoming a factor as we're here at 10:15 here tonight. And if the Bombers can figure a way to at least maybe extend this inning 15 minutes further, that would be the ball game. But if the Bombers can get out of this one quickly and find some consistent pitching from Luke Killinger, we'll have another chance, and most likely their final chance in the top of the 6th. They need 4 to keep it going.
Almost definitely their last opportunity. Is only 16 minutes, as you said, remaining in this one, so it's almost, I feel like, impossible to get 8 outs in that short amount of time.
3-0 pitch is outside from Killinger, and a walk there from Nico Saul. Saul, who was our impact player here today, has not been a guy that's been able to put it in play at all. 2 strikeouts, a hit by pitch, and a walk. That'll bring up the left fielder, James Grease. Grease, another guy who's gotten on 2 walks here today, did also ground out to the shortstop in the second. Check back at the runner over there at first in Saul. He's been stealing bags like no other. Him and James Grease have taken a considerable number of bags here, not just today, but throughout this season. Grease already 3 stolen bases here today. 10 overall on the year. Nico Saul with 1 stolen base today. Makes it his 8th this season. This one popped up and fouling out of play.
I would have called Ethan off. Don't worry.
Ethan says he doubt that.
It was definitely more towards me, so.
Yeah, I mean, it was also like 50 feet behind us.
Yeah.
I don't know if your legs are getting that.
No.
Mine aren't either.
I'm pretty slow. I'm pretty slow.
I feel you there. Long throw and
That's pretty.
another stolen base. A little delayed steal right there by Nico Saul as he moves up 90 feet closer and maybe trying to continue and extend this inning further. 1 gone here and a runner in scoring position. It's been an interesting game to say the least. The Bombers have scored in every single inning of this one. They scored 1 in the first, 5 in the second, and then 3 both in the third and fourth. And trying to continue that rally here in the 5th. Their ball low, and Grease again, possibly for the 3rd time today, could reach on a walk. 3-1 pitch is low. And another free pass here. Back-to-back free passes from Luke Killinger. And so far today, that's the 14th walk
the third baseman
for the Royal Blue Dogs pitching staff. Combined between the two pitching staffs, that's the 21st walk of the day. And you add on 4 more wild pitches, 4 more hit by pitches, as well as another 11 wild pitches. Again, the struggling pitching has made this game long. But Killinger trying to figure a way to get out of it. Again, still a 2.5 hour time limit, for really the first time this season could be in play.
I feel like 21 walks combined has got to be some sort of record for at least this season.
I would think so. I don't know.
It's got to at least, it's definitely up there.
It's got to be a top 2 or 3 game.
Yeah.
Easily.
There's always those games up in Iowa where you never know what's going on up there.
Killinger looks back at second and delivers. Big swing and a miss from Kyle Weber. Weber was another guy, at least for the first 2 times he was up to the plate. Didn't have to take the bat off his shoulder. Saw 8 pitches, saw 8 balls, and 2 walks, and struck out in a full count pitch this past inning in the 4th. Another big lead out there at second, as Nico Saul is just baiting Killinger to go back to him. Two-two pitch. This one driven into left center field. That one's going to get down. Possible extra bases here for Kyle Weber. 2 runs are going to come in to score as the ball goes to third. And the Bombers add on 2 more insurance runs. They make their lead now 6 runs. It's 14-8. And Kyle Weber finally pieces up a ball after keeping the bat on his shoulder. This game continues. Good piece of hitting right there from Weber. Now he finds himself at second with a double. Right there, the 12th hit of the ball game between these two. The Royal Blue Dogs have scored 8 runs on just 3 hits. Now for the Bombers, 14 runs on just 9 hits. There's also been 4 errors between the two teams defensively. It's been a sloppy one. Apologies for the cutaway right there. Off speed is low from Killinger. He's got back up at 1 apiece. This will very likely be the end of it. 9 minutes left again till the 2.5 hour time limit. Still just 1 out here. Killinger's got to find a way to get out of this inning. This one, once again, pop foul off the fencing. Caleb Lemon here flew out to center in the first, was hit by a pitch in the second, and then was walked this past inning in the 4th.
If you're the Royal Blue Dogs, you're looking for something just to...
Lemon chops this one down the third base line and foul.
At least give your offense at least a shot to maybe some way come back from this deficit.
One-two pitch coming here from Killinger as he looks back at second. Third look over there, and the runner is off. That one fouled and out of play. Another great jump out there by Kyle Weber, as even with 3 looks, they've been able to time up all 3 of the Royal Blue Dogs pitchers so far today really well. The base running today for the Bombers is brought together 9 stolen bases. And again, if you want a theme of this one, it has been 3 bases. Stolen bases, errors, hit by a pitch, wild pitches, pass balls. All of those combined have kind of summed up today here between these two teams. 1-2 pitch now, off speed. Finds the outer half for strike 3 as Caleb Lemon is sat down for the second time today.
It's a great pitch to catch him looking.
42, Tanner Black.
This is Tanner Black now. Black, one of the only guys, actually, has not reached base today for the Bombers. He's 0 for 3 with a ground to the third in the second, a fly out to right in the third, and then a line out that was caught by the left fielder in Trent Collegiate this past inning in the fourth. Trying to be the only guy here for this Bombers team to maybe get out of that slump here today. As Killinger fakes back to second. I think you heard that. Yelling at Tanner Black a little bit to keep this inning going. Just a little bit over 5 minutes left here on the timer. For the 2.5-hour timer, here's that one fouled back and out of play. Killinger trying to get out of this inning, is up 0-2 here to Tanner Black. Being getting out here, the Royal Blue Dogs would be guaranteed at least one more chance to keep this game going, down by 6. 0-2 pitch, runner is off. This one driven deep into center field. Playing stand up and making the play is Devin Jones. And this game continues. The Bombers lead this one 14-8 as they add on 2 more here in the 5th inning. We head to the 6th. Final chance here for the Royal Blue Dogs. Again, only in the 6th here. However, the 2.5 time limit will very likely be up unless we get through this entire inning top and bottom in 3 minutes. Game started at 8 p.m. It's 10:27. It's been a long game. Nate Smith has been able to work well in relief, but a chopper there, the speedy Devin Jones, is able to reach first on a little chopper, maybe a little bit scary one right there for Gage Julian as he was trying to come out and make that play, but tripped and fell. But either way, a leadoff runner on here for the Royal Blue Dogs. Again, they need 6 here in the top of the 6th to keep this one going. If the Bombers, that does happen, and the Bombers do not score in the bottom of the 6th, you add on everybody's favorite thing in baseball, not just a time limit, but also a tie. Apologies for the change now, going down to the camera down there. There was some issues with our 100-foot cord, working in with our game here in this one. Been a long one here at J.J. Isaacson Field. And shout out to all of our crew here working in this one. 2 games here on Tuesday Night Baseball.
It's been a long one.
Big swing and a miss right there from Brennan Redding. As Nate Smith again trying to figure his way out of this one and give the Bombers their 11th win this season and push them over the top to solidify themselves as the number 3 team over the Haymakers. Strikeout right there for Nate Smith. And exactly what they needed. And Smith, that's his 3rd strikeout so far in 3 innings of work. He was able to drop down the Royal Blue Dogs 1, 2, 3, both in the 4th and the 5th. 3 groundouts, 2 strikeouts, and a pop-out foul, and now able to set down another hitter right there. Schubert puts this one all the way into the parking lot out of here on that foul ball. Chopper over to Smith on a lemon at second. Throw on to first is in time. And that's your ball game.
For the Royal Blue Dogs in the top of the 6th inning, no runs on
14 to 8
no errors,
is
no
your
runs on
final
base.
in just
And
6
due to time limit,
and a
that
half
is the ball
innings
game.
of
Your
work.
final score, the
And
Bombers
that'll end it here on
14,
Tuesday Night
Royal
Baseball.
Blue
Jaden
Dogs
Taylor alongside
8.
Mike Knockenhauer. We'll take a quick break. Once we come back, get you our hitter or player of the game here for the Bombers.
No matter what your age, skill level, or position, your baseball season begins at the Strike Zone. Featuring state-of-the-art batting cages, group and private instruction, the Strike Zone provides athletes all the training and equipment you need to get your game to the next level. Give the gift of development to your baseball or softball player. Purchase your Strike Zone gift cards today. Baseball never ends at the Strike Zone. No matter what your age, skill level, or position, your baseball season begins at the Strike Zone. Featuring state-of-the-art batting cages, group and private instruction, the Strike Zone provides athletes all the training and equipment you need to get your game to the next level. Give the gift of development to your baseball or softball player. Purchase your Strike Zone gift cards today. Baseball never ends at the Strike Zone.
wrap this one up here in our second of 2 at J.J. Isaacson Field. Tuesday night baseball wraps up, and just in 5.5 innings through this one, our 2.5-hour time limit comes up as the Bombers win this one 14-8. They score in every single inning, capped off by the 5-run second inning was the biggest piece for them. I'm here with their player of the game, our Kelly Supply Company player of the game, Brendan Cassio, 3 for 3 on a day, a double, an RBI, 2 runs, and 2 stolen bases. 9 stolen bases overall for this team here today. I think that's been one of the intangibles that we've seen for the Bombers this season is you guys have just been able to take every bag in front of you. You guys just got incredible jumps here today. What was that here today for you guys?
Yeah, we're just looking to get a good jump, try to get a couple of steals. Stealing bags helps us score, so if we can get a couple cheap bags and get some runs on the board, it helps us out. So.
All right, so for you, I mean, a lot of different guys kind of got on with the walk. We saw a combined 21 walks here today, which very well could be a Corn Belt League record. However, you were kind of the guy that found the barrel a lot more than anybody else. What were you seeing here today?
Just looking for a fastball, trying to drive balls, struggling early in the year and just trying to see a pitch that I can hit and just try to drive it, do something with it, and I did that today, so it was good to see.
You guys are now 11-8. You jump now up to solidify yourself at the 3 spot above the Haymakers. Let's talk a little bit about team chemistry for you guys. 8 different guys on this team are all from Bellevue University.
Yeah.
What's it like being able to play with some of the same guys that you played in the spring?
Yeah, it makes it fun. We've all had good relationships throughout the year, and coming to play summer ball together, it's nice laid-back baseball, and we still want to win, and we all push each other and try to stay behind each other's back. So we'll just keep trying to do that and try to get some more W's.
You guys get the day off tomorrow as well as the rest of the league.
Yeah.
What's the mindset going forward? You guys continue to find wins and maybe make a little bit of a run at the money at the Black Sox at the 2 spot.
We're trying to hang in there. We're playing pretty well. We're just going to try to get a couple more wins and see if we can hang out in the postseason and try to win something. So, yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much. Our Kelly Supply Company player of the game, and Brendan Cassio. That will wrap it up here on Tuesday Night Baseball. Thank you guys so much for watching. From Jaden Taylor and everybody here in the Corn Belt League crew alongside me tonight was Mike Knockenhauer as well as Ethan McCormick. Have a wonderful evening.